It's the house that baseball built and where the jungle found its roar. From World Series rings to Super Bowl teams, Cincinnati has firmly planted its feet in sports history. And some of the greatest moments have happened inside this cookie-cutter bowl on the riverfront. Today, 32 years of magic will be remembered as this once state-of-the-art design is demolished in less than 60 seconds. Welcome to our special coverage of Cinergy Implosion, a farewell to Riverfront. And good morning again, everybody. From the river, I'm Ken Brew, along with Anne-Marie Tiernan and Lisa Cooney. We are here for the next couple of hours as history happens here in Cincinnati.
The sports tradition in this town is unmatched. So for the next hour and a half, we will walk you through some of the most memorable moments that have happened right at our own front door. We will also show you what it takes to turn a stadium into rubble. And there won't be a better place to watch than right here. From the air and on the ground, we have live cameras capturing every angle.
So sit back and enjoy, stay warm there in your house. We'll bring you everything you want to see, and we start our coverage this morning with Cherie Plello, who is only a few feet away from the button that will bring down Cinergy Field.
That's right, Anne-Marie. Good morning. At 6 o'clock this morning, the man of the hour, so to speak, Jim Matthews, was told he is that United Way winner, the one that's going to be pressing the button that brings down Cinergy Field. He and some of the other United Way winners were briefed by the O'Rourke Wrecking Company at 6 o'clock this morning, and at about 7:45, about 15 minutes before the implosion, they will be introduced here. Now, he of course is the winner. We're told that he spoke with Michelle Hopkins earlier this morning, and he of course is very thrilled. He's known about this for several weeks now. He even had a rose, of course, in honor of Pete Rose, he says, who is the main man for Cinergy Field, and he wants to be remembered and of course inducted into the Hall of Fame. Also here today, William Bristol, who was the second place winner. He is going to be performing the countdown. Also here, the third and fourth place winners got to have 8 VIP passes inside here at Paul Brown Stadium, and we should mention that inside there are several hundred folks that are waiting. They were invited to be here as guests at this VIP viewing of the implosion of Cinergy Field, and we're told about 1,500 inside here. You can still see several hundred even behind me here, and they're all looking forward to this. They can either watch it from the inside or come outside if they'd like. It's a little bit cold out, but not too bad. I also want to show you right over my left shoulder here. Look at this. About 100, maybe 200 people. They even have lawn chairs out. They are lined up here along Elm Street. Many of them have been out here for at least an hour, 2 hours to make sure they had a front row seat for this Cinergy Field implosion. We're going to try and talk to a couple of these folks in about a half an hour, and we'll bring you those interviews live. Reporting live outside Paul Brown Stadium tonight, or this morning, I'm Cherie Plello, Eyewitness News 5.
Dale Stump's here.
All right, Cherie, thanks. We'll be checking back with you throughout the morning. Well, Cherie mentioned, as we've all been mentioning, we've got it covered from the air and from many different angles right here on Eyewitness News 5.
That's right, Sky 5 over the riverfront right now. We'll bring you live pictures as the stadium crumbles today. It's one of 8 cameras that'll be live rolling just for you.
And we also have a bird's eye view of the stadium from the top of Crew Tower. There's that familiar sight. Our camera there practically looks down right into the bowl. And just west of there, our Michelle Hopkins is standing by live at Paul Brown Stadium, where O'Rourke Wrecking is having its VIP party. Michelle, good morning to you.
Good morning. You know I like this, Lisa. A VIP party. This thing is hopping, I tell you. We're here right here in front of the gate where a lot of the people are getting in. You have to have a special pass to get in, a little security pass, and they're telling people if they can get in here or not. A lot of people are lined up along the river there, but there's, as you can see, lots of excitement here as people get ready to see the implosion that is less than an hour away now. It is so exciting down here. They're going upstairs to have a little breakfast, and then a lot of them will come back out here to actually see the implosion. And there's some mixed emotions here as people are thinking about Cinergy Field and the 32 years of memories here. And mixed emotions, a lot of nostalgia, some people even a little emotional as they get ready to watch the implosion. And as you may know, a lot of the seats from inside the stadium have been sold as souvenirs. And I guess I was lucky enough to get a little souvenir too. This is a little piece of cable that was in Cinergy Field. So I'm going to hold on to this. And it's all part of it, really. You know, all of the excitement, and people here are really excited about it. But can you imagine what the people at O'Rourke Wrecking must be feeling right now? They have have spent months planning for this, and they have this thing timed down to the very millisecond. Take a look. You get excited when you talk about this, don't you?
Well, it's exciting. I mean, we spent a lot of time and a lot of effort doing these projects, so it's exciting to, to think it'll be completed soon.
Jeff Sizemore has the Cinergy implosion down to a science. It'll take a mere 10 seconds for the charge to detonate, and then it really gets interesting.
At that point, for the next 28 seconds, 29 seconds, you'll see it just chase itself all the way around, just like a big domino.
The view from Sky 5 gives you a different perspective. This implosion is going to be like nothing the tri-state has ever seen before. It's timed down to the very millisecond. Now we're flying over right now where it's all going to start. It'll start right there on this end by the Great American Ballpark. It'll ring around, fall almost like dominoes, until Cinergy Field is like a big pile of rubble. For another view, Jeff shows a cross-section of the very beam that'll be the first to fall.
And the whole thing will rotate off this moment point, which is right back here, and rotate inward and fall downward. And it'll look similar to just essentially cutting a wedge out of a tree and letting it topple over.
Timber.
Correct.
Jeff took me inside Cinergy, now a hard hat zone, for one of the last looks inside the stadium before it comes crashing down.
It'll start in the northeast corner right here, right where the Bethesda and the Cinergy Field sign is, and that'll actually rotate kind of on a diagonal manner towards you as well as inward to the field, and then it'll continue in a counterclockwise motion all the way around, trailing the whole bowl area all the way around to the south, ultimately winding up in the southeast corner.
You've seen implosions where the dust cloud stretches for miles. Well, Jeff is promising very little of that here.
I think surprisingly that there won't be as much dust as you typically would associate with a normal implosion, because we're spending a lot of time and a lot of money to remove the interior walls, partition walls, block walls, drywall walls, and things of that nature that typically create and generate a lot of the dust.
And that's good news for the people who want to get a close-up view of the implosion. Wherever you sit, the view will be spectacular. Michelle Hopkins, Eyewitness News 5.
All right, thank you, Michelle. And as you can see, lower right-hand corner of your screen, the countdown continues. When that reaches 0, that's when the walls, as John Mellencamp once sang, come tumbling down. Speaking of O'Rourke, last month they tested the effects of their explosives. They blew up column 33 inside the stadium. You see, the idea was to use the minimum amount of explosives to get the maximum effect, kind of like what we do in the Channel 5 newsroom every day. In all, crews have drilled 1,400 holes into the pillars that hold up Cinergy Field and packed them with dynamite. The stadium will come down, we're told, in just 37 seconds. We'll keep a clock on that, too.
And many people watching today's event will remember another famous implosion in our neck of the woods, Sander Hall. The UC dorm was leveled by 1,000 charges of dynamite, in about 8 seconds. It was June 23rd, 1991. 8 seconds.
Here we go. It's coming down.
It was amazing, and I was covered by that wall of dust, for the record. The 26-story co-ed dorm was dubbed the Smokehouse because of the numerous fires there. All the stairwells were near the center of the building, leading critics to claim that a substantial fire would prevent safe evacuation. That dorm had been closed since 1982.
Less than a year after Sander Hall was demolished, the wrecking crews focused on yet another landmark, and that was Central Bridge, which connected Cincinnati and Newport. The bridge, with one flip of a switch, fell into the Ohio River. The 265-foot suspended span was severed in 7 pieces, each weighing about 30 tons. All had to be removed from the river within 24 hours. It would be 3 years before the Taylor Southgate Bridge would take the place of the old Central Bridge. And so today, another landmark falls, and we have cameras for you on the air, on top of buildings, rooftops, from downtown buildings. We also have boom cam inside. These will be images that will show you and record the implosion as it happens. We'll bring you those pictures live. Plus, on the outside of the stadium, thousands of people are out here lining up to watch the event live. We have a riverboat that has blocked the view from our vantage point here along Covington, and that has many people booing, but they don't understand that that riverboat will have to be back at its dock before 8 o'clock, and their view here along the riverfront will not be blocked.
Good.
You have that problem there too, Mark?
Go, Mark.
Hello.
All right, we're having little problems there with Mark Kaler, so let's go to Monica Abler. Monica, what do you have for us? You're over on the Ohio side of the river, high above us.
Hello, Anne Marie. Right, we're in Mount Adams. We're in the parking lot right next to Celestial Restaurant and Highland Towers, Rookwood Pottery, and there is a small crowd beginning to build. It was pretty lonely at first this morning, but people are starting to stream in a little bit. Steve Tawney is here right now, Anne Marie, and Steve, you've come over here and talked to us for a little while. I talked to him just a short time ago about why you chose Mount Adams.
Well, a friend of mine invited us down. His sister lives in Mount Adams, and we thought we'd come down here so we'd have a place to park and come over and watch. And we got down here. He wasn't here. We called him. He's still sleeping up in Mason.
So what's your plan? Are you sticking around?
We're going to stay around and watch from here.
What do you think of the view that you will get?
I think it'll be all right. We can see the new stadium and the whole skylight, so I think it'll be fine from here.
With or without your friend?
Yeah, without him probably. I don't think he'll make it down here.
But you don't want to mention any names?
Pat, but that's as far as I'll go.
Okay, Pat in Westchester is missing out on this, but you're going to be here. You said you were there for the Sanders Hall implosion, and
Sure was, yeah.
why do you just like everybody else like to see that sort of thing happen?
Like to see things blow up.
Or down or
Yeah.
Steve, thank you so much for talking
Okay,
to us
thank
this
you.
morning. And Maria, it's again, it's a very light crowd here, and there are some structures like the Great American Ballpark blocking a little bit of the view that you would get of the implosion, but it's going to move in a counterclockwise way, so you'll get to see, it sounds to me like the beginning of it, and then the finale, and then all the dust going up after that. So it probably isn't such a bad place to be after all here in Mount Adams. Reporting live in Mount Adams, Monica Abler, Eyewitness News 5. Lisa and Ken, back to you.
All right, Monica, thanks. I agree. You are in a good spot. We're in a good spot here, too. And all the eyes of the tri-state will be on Old Riverfront Stadium. And this is an understatement, Ken, but I think several people are watching in person.
Well, not only that, you mentioned Riverfront Stadium, and I know it's been Cinergy Field since 1996, but I think to anybody who is from Cincinnati, it will always be, as Marty Brenneman said, Riverfront
You got
Stadium. You know, Tony Now, who has often been promoted from the news department to the sports department, is promoted once again today because he has been combing the riverfront to see the best places, to find the best places. We'll be able to see the implosion today.
What stood as a Queen City landmark will soon be reduced to rubble. And when we blow things up in America, we want a front row seat. Newport's River Road offers a scenic view that includes the new and old ballpark. Slightly better is Covington's riverfront. Mary Schumacher and her husband will eat breakfast and watch the whole thing from the comfort of their home.
Yeah, we can go on all 3 floors, yeah. So it's going to be fun. Right now, the stadium kind of hides some of those buildings over there, so now we'll be able to see all the buildings downtown. So that'll be a pretty view, too.
Folks atop the Metropolitan Club can look across the river for a great view as well. Club officials expect a big turnout.
Probably about 250, yeah, 250 or 300 when you consider the areas of the club that actually have a view in that direction.
The Bengals will be in Buffalo during the implosion. Too bad the team's offices face Cinergy Field. Editors at the newspaper won't have to send photographers too far, and Carew Tower offers the highest vantage point. But if you're looking for the best,
right, this is a hard view to top.
Scripps Tower is right across the street. City Councilman David Pepper has an office on one of the top floors.
I've watched a lot of games partially from this room, and I guess we'll be watching the implosion also. It'll be, I guess, a grand farewell.
And it's a good thing. There are so many great places to enjoy it. Tony Now, Eyewitness News 5.
All right, thanks, Tony. Now, if you're at home but you're curious about what's going on down here along the riverfront, you plan on hopping in your car and coming down, there are some obstacles that you'll find that'll be on your way because some of the roads are closed. We have a map to show you that basically anything south of 3rd Street is off limits for parking and pedestrians today. Plus, Race, Vine, Walnut, Main, Sycamore, and Broadway between 3rd and 4th Streets also closed this morning. You want to keep in mind that Pete Rose Way will remain open today. Parking is available at numerous lots north of 3rd, the East Garage, that's back next to the U.S. Bank Arena. That's east of the Great American Ballpark. That will be open for parking.
Well, besides the players from the Big Red Machine days, probably the most memorable name to come out of Riverfront is a woman's name, Marge Schott. Dave Wagner talked to Mrs. Schott about some of the highs and lows at Riverfront.
20 minutes from her Indian Hill estate, this was Marge Schott's home away from home.
I don't know why I ever bought that team. I guess I was nuts at Christmas. But it was some wonderful years, honey, and I'm not ashamed of the job I did.
Since 1981, Marge has been a part of the Reds and this ballpark. There's no question, she, Shotzi, and Shotzi too left their marks on this stadium.
There's Marge Schott. She might be talking to Shotzi too right now.
For most of us, this stadium has been a place to watch the Reds. For Marge, it was a place to visit with the people she considered family.
Beautiful memories of what baseball used to be, and I hope it gets back to it. A lot of wonderful memories, honey. To me, I thought it was very smart in a town of this size that the Bengals and the Reds had the same stadium together rather than taxpayers having to pay for two of them, but that's beside the point. Because to me, Cinergy Field was very nice. It wasn't that old either, you know.
At every game, Marge never forgot her dog, and she never forgot the fans.
And she's got a team picture for that fellow, too. Hey, that's a bonus.
And the fans, to me, were the most important thing about the whole game. If you don't have fans, you don't need a game. Because we had hardly any attendance when I bought the thing and bought Pete back. Pete and I took it up to 3 million people. And you know, the players don't want to sit and have nobody in the stands. You know, that's no fun.
Even after her battles with Major League Baseball, even after Shotzi was banned from this ballpark, Marge says she'll shed a tear when this stadium falls.
O'Rourke asked me to come and watch it, you know. And,
so you're going to go?
Oh, yeah. I think it's a memory, you know, to see something like that, I guess. It tore my heart out to leave the box because, you know, we've had that for a long time. And Shotzi used to love to go down the office, and she had a couch down there, and she'd look out the window at all the people walking by. But, yes, it will break my heart, honey.
Dave Wagner, Eyewitness News 5.
Thanks, Dave. Well, the boys of summer certainly have provided a lot of great memories for us at Riverfront. Who can forget Hank Aaron tying Babe Ruth's home run record there? And, of course, the Reds had great success over the years there at the Great American, at Cinergy and Riverfront. Greg McKinney now with a trip down memory lane.
Do you remember the anticipation and excitement of the first opening day game ever at Riverfront Stadium?
For the Cincinnati Reds, the man who pitched the last game in Crosley Field will pitch the first game in Riverfront Stadium. That's Jim McLaughlin.
The pageantry of the pregame and novelty of the artificial turf was all the buzz on June 30th, 1970. The Reds lost to the Braves that day, but it mattered little as a new day had dawned at the state-of-the-art Riverfront Stadium. It would only be a couple of weeks later, July 14th, when number 14, Peter Edward Rose, would score the game-winning run for the National League in what has turned out to be one of the classic All-Star Game finishes of all time. Cleveland catcher Ray Fosse would never be the same after that colossal collision. Reds fans, though, were delighted as the hometown kid was the hero on a team full of them.
And a bench to bench, change, hit in the air to deep right field. Back goes Clemente, at the fence, he's done!
The familiar call of Al Michaels rings loud and proud to this day for many Reds fans. Johnny Bench hit the game-tying home run against Bob Moose and the Pittsburgh Pirates in the '72 playoffs in what was only a precursor of things to come. George Foster would later score the winning run on a wild pitch as the Reds won the pennant. Fast forward to September 11th, 1985, 8:01 p.m. Pete Rose with what may be the most memorable moment ever at Riverfront Stadium.
Shao kicks and he fires. Rose swings.
For those in attendance that night, it was nothing short of electrifying. Nothing more can be said that can speak to the significance of that hit in that stadium. The Reds played a number of World Series games here. They played the Oakland A's and swept them in one of the true David defeats Goliath stories in baseball history. Few can forget the tragedy of opening day 1996. Home plate umpire John McSherry collapsed and died behind home plate, postponing opening day. On a much lighter note, Lou Piniella made the Riverfront turf his own playground at times, picking up bases and heaving them at will. And Reds pitcher Tom Browning became forever known as Mr. Perfect after hurling a perfect game against the dreaded Los Angeles Dodgers on September 16, 1988.
There's no question, this stadium, it was far from perfect, but for many, many people here in the Tri-State, the memories made inside that ballpark will last a lifetime. Greg McKinney, Eyewitness News 5.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. And as you can see, the countdown continues now, just a little over 40 minutes till Cinergy comes tumbling down. You know, so many memories and so many great moments inside that stadium, both football and baseball. And they're probably, well, I could tell you right now, there is definitely not anyone else who could chronicle what the Reds have done inside that stadium better than Marty Brennaman and Joe Nuxhall. And what do you know, our George Vogel had a chance to sit down with both and ask them for some of their best Riverfront memories.
As the old ballpark is making its final stand, those who were deeply involved in the great baseball moments are sure the memories will not collapse with the implosion.
When they pull the plug on that baby, it's going to be a day that I guess it'll be a day of reflection for me, is what it'll be.
Well, it's not going to be fun to watch it go. There's no question about it when you think back on the nostalgia of Riverfront Cinergy.
So many things happened for the Reds over the years. It's tough for the people involved with the team to pick out one thing that stands out. But they try.
You know, Johnny Bench Day, I wasn't part of it, but he hit a home run. You know, that was the year before I got there. I think that's probably a pretty special night too. You know, and Tony, you know, the day that Tony retired, and they had the day for him. You know, I guess I'm getting more sentimental than the actual what took place on the field.
The one night for me personally was Tom Browning's perfect game, simply because in the history of the franchise, being the oldest, there had never been a perfect game pitched, and you certainly would have felt that that would have happened over the history of the Cincinnati Reds.
I'm sure my perfect game's up there in the top, you know, 3 or 4. But gosh, the Big Red Machine did a lot of things in that stadium, you know. So if I were to say, it was probably Pete, number 1, you know, and everything else is second.
We'll always remember these great memories and the old ballpark itself, and maybe even a certain piece of this park, a piece of the old radio booth.
That door with pictures of some famous and infamous people will go into our radio booth at Great American Ballpark.
So in that sense, the old ballpark does live on. I'm George Vogel, Eyewitness News 5.
I want to tell a quick story about Tom Browning's perfect game. It's September the 16th, 1988. Game is not on TV. The highlights you see there are off the Jumbotron. So it's a 7:30 start that's delayed to like 9:45 because of rain. Now, we're carrying the Olympics. We're not on until midnight here on Channel 5. So I send my producer down to record the highlights. It's about 10:15. I'm telling the guy, come back. Game's not going to be over. We don't need the highlights. He said, no, Ken, I think I ought to stay here. I said, no, come back. Ken, I think I ought to stay here. It's 11 o'clock. I said, come on back. We don't need the highlights. And he says, Ken, I think I ought to stay there. Lo and behold, Guy stays there. We go on at midnight. Game ends about 5 minutes before then. We're the only station in the market that actually has the highlights, and we had Browning on live with us that night. And who was my producer? Some guy named Bill Hemmer. I have no idea what happened to him, but we got the highlights on the air.
I heard he got a good job
CNN
somewhere.
Right now, so.
That's exciting.
Good old Billy.
Well, when we come back, the focus is going to be on another ball game. We're going to talk football. Do you remember the Freezer Bowl in Old Riverfront Stadium? I remember the Freezer Bowl. The conditions a lot colder than it is this morning.
Still to come tonight, we show you the memorable moments on the gridiron, plus the Bengals players share what it was like to play in the jungle.
The Judgment Hour, tomorrow at 4 on Channel 5.
Is your claim that your son assaulted you?
Did he do the unthinkable?
You didn't hit her, did you?
Or is it all in her imagination?
Had you been drinking?
Next Judge Judy.
You set zero example for him.
Then at 4:30.
Fighting can be a real drag.
I'm not a drag queen, I'm a female impersonator.
So why didn't he just take off?
I had on 7-inch stilettos.
On the next Judge Joe Brown.
Tomorrow at 4 on Channel 5.
Announcing the final days of Chevy's year-end event.
It's your last chance.
Maybe we'll stick to what we do best. Now get $3,000 total cash back on the 2003 Avalanche and Silverado during the year-end event. Or get 0% APR for 60 months on 2003 Chevy SUVs.
Just scold me, 'cause when I'm bad, we're so bad.
See your participating Tri-State Chevy dealer today.
Hi, I'm Doug Pearson, president of the Fitness Experience. If you're in the market for home exercise equipment and want selection, we've got selection with over 20 treadmills on display. Interested in quality? The Fitness Experience sells the same name brands found in health clubs worldwide. But most importantly, we don't just sell exercise equipment, we produce results. Thanks to our fitness enthusiasts who have the experience to help you choose the right piece of equipment for your personal needs. The Fitness Experience. Check us out in your yellow pages or visit our website for the store nearest you.
There's more to keeping a car roadworthy than a good mechanic.
You also need car insurance.
Without it, you run a risk of paying heavy fines or having your car impounded.
So pick up the phone right now and call 1-800-SAFE-AUTO.
You can get immediate coverage and low monthly payments,
which you can make over the phone or by logging onto our website.
Keeping your car roadworthy is your job.
Keeping you roadworthy is ours.
Call is free. It's 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. SAFE-AUTO.
Live coverage of the Cinergy implosion. Farewell to Riverfront continues.
And welcome back to our show. We are here at the gateway to Ohio, right below the suspension bridge, right on the Ohio River riverbanks in Covington, and the crowd is getting deep out here.
They're deep, they're warm, they're ready to roll here. They're ready to see the stadium go down.
That's right. Mark Kaler's in the thick of it, isn't he, Anne Marie?
That's right. Mark, what have you found there among some of the fans along the riverfront?
Well, this is probably one of the best places to see all of this. You're looking right across the river. You can see the couple of boats in the way. Some people are booing about that, but a pretty good view, really. We see people with blankets. We see people with picnic lunches and breakfasts, I guess you'd say. We also see a lot of tripods as people are trying to capture all of this. Dale Stumpf is here. He's from Eastgate. You have a camera. You have a 35 millimeter there, but you tell me you got some other cameras too.
Yes, I've got a camcorder set up on the bank over here, as well as a digital camera set up on the hillside over here.
So 3 altogether.
Right.
What do you hope to get? I mean, what do you hope to do with this once you get it?
I'm hoping to get a permanent record of the implosion of Cinergy Field. I'm also recording on Channel 5. Give you guys a little plug.
That's a good choice.
Got my VCR set up with the helicopter views, so I'm hoping to put all this stuff, into kind of a picture scrapbook.
But as far as it's something you'll pass down to the generations, or it's something to be pretty important to you.
Yeah, it would be important to me, and that's why I'm trying to preserve the memory and all the different formats that I've got.
Well, you'll have them all covered, and I hope one of those or all of them turn out well for you. Good luck. Good luck. A lot of great people down here. Just started about 3 o'clock this morning. We saw people out here actually in sleeping bags in some cases, out here sleeping in the cold, and now they're here and we have light coming in, and looks like a pretty good chance for them to see this historic event. We'll throw it back to you guys, Lisa.
All right, thanks, Mark. Many people came down and set up along the riverfront here thinking they had the perfect view, and the riverboats were out cruising, and the people that were on the riverboats could take pictures, but then at 7 o'clock, the Coast Guard required the riverboats to go to their docks and tie up. Well, many people had set up right there, and the riverboats were blocking their view, so you're seeing a lot of people now positioning and trying to get another good spot, and pretty frustrating because they came down here early and thought they had the primo place. But when we're talking about Cinergy, you can't forget about football. Now, the Bengals not really having great success in Paul Brown Stadium, and really when you look back record-wise, the men in black and orange did a little bit better in the old ballpark.
They had a 500-plus winning percentage in Riverfront, winning 128 games, losing 100.
Yeah, this may be a difficult thing for anyone under 20 years old to grasp, but the Bengals were good at one time. Honest, trust me, they did win ball games at one time. Let's go back for a look at some of the better Bengal memories, a lot of which have come from Cinergy Field, and for that, we turn to Greg McKinney.
Welcome to Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. I'm Phil Samp along with Andy McWilliams, all set to bring you the action of today's AFC Championship game between the Cincinnati Bengals and the San Diego Chargers.
This is likely the most famous NFL game ever played at Riverfront Stadium.
59 below. I will never forget that.
59 degrees below zero with wind chill, but players played and fans, well, they were fans. More than 49,000 showed up for the 1981 AFC Championship game between the Bengals and Chargers. Having survived the elements and San Diego, this memorable game propelled the Bengals to their first ever Super Bowl.
Go beat them Bengals. Who that? Who that? Who that think go beat them Bengals? Who that? Who that? Who that think go beat them Bengals?
In 1988, Riverfront Stadium became commonly known as the Jungle.
Esiason gives the ball off to Ickey, left side, touchdown, Ickey Woods.
The Bengals defeated the Buffalo Bills 21-10 in the AFC Championship game on that cold January afternoon. It was during this season that the Ickey Shuffle really took off on the Riverfront turf. It even captured the fancy of the Bengals Hall of Fame owner Paul Brown, who would later unveil his version of the Ickey Shuffle before the press at the Super Bowl.
Will the next person that sees anybody throw anything onto this field, point them out, and get them out of here. You don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati.
That was a classic Riverfront Bengals moment. Sam Weish barking at the crowd and slamming the Browns all at the same time. There are many more memories and many more players who made a name for themselves on this field. Among them, the great Anthony Munoz, the Bengals Hall of Famer, who played his entire pro career on this turf. Well, call this old stadium what you will, but for some of the best moments in Bengals history took place at this site, which will forever be known to Bengals fans as the Jungle. Greg McKinney, Eyewitness News 5.
Well, that is for sure some great moments there. And you know, our own Solomon Wilcots wore the Bengals stripes, and he talked to some of the former players about their favorite stadium memories.
For 30 years, Riverfront Stadium stood as a cathedral, while each NFL Sunday, its congregation faithfully came looking for answered prayers, miracles, and Hail Marys. Between these pillars of cement and steel, the Bengals suited up for a total of 228 games, winning more than half. And from these ordinary men came extraordinary memories.
Freezer Bowl was number one. I mean, that was just an unbelievable survival test to play in that football game and the importance of the game. And I think as well as everybody executed in that game, there weren't a whole lot of turnovers in that football game, a whole lot of penalties, so guys stayed focused and took care of the football in as extreme conditions as you possibly can have.
I think maybe the first game I ever played in there, which was a preseason game in 1971, my rookie year, coming from Augustana College to a new stadium. It was only 3 years old at that point. And I thought that was the greatest thing in the world.
Probably the best one was, though, we won the AFC Championship game, and that was probably the most exciting time of my career at the stadium. But I had a lot of great games there and a lot of fond memories.
And my favorite moment of Tim Crumry in Cinergy Field, Riverfront Stadium, was also in the AFC Championship game. I'm coming up to make a tackle, man. You're 20 yards down the field playing in the secondary, causing a fumble. What the hell were you doing back there?
I was just running the ball like you're supposed to, and that was a great play, too, and I do remember that one, and I'll remember that one forever.
That Washington Redskin game, when that ball hit that upright, I think that was probably the most memorable because that's the one that sent us on our way. That's the one that sent us to the playoffs, and that's the one that gave us home field advantage. And certainly, I have a picture hanging up at my house also of my first interception when we played the St. Louis Cardinals, the Arizona Cardinals at the time. You're in that picture also. And that particular play, again, I think that sort of propelled us as a defense and me as a player in terms of knowing we had arrived to an extent.
As players, we have marked the times by the memories we cherish the most. I recall images of vanquished foes, youth, and vitality. Timeless moments I relive in my mind, repeatedly telling myself that I did it. And boy, was it fun. Solomon Wilcots, Eyewitness News 5 Sports.
would you feel if you was a kid and you didn't have a toy to play with? I would feel sad because I didn't get to see my mom or dad. It isn't fair if they don't get a present.
Share a gift, touch a life.
Give them some toys. Give them a present. It's kind of like sharing because it makes other people feel good.
Share a gift, touch a life.
I'll say thank you.
Buick Holiday Bonus Cash makes this year-end the grand finale. The remarkable, versatile Buick Rendezvous, now with $3,000 total cash back. The affordable luxury of Century, the award-winning LeSabre, the power of Regal, all with $3,000 total cash back. Or choose 000 and still get holiday bonus cash. See your Tri-State Buick dealer today.
Congratulations, you're our $10 million winner. How does it feel to win all that money, Mr. Fernmacher?
I can't.
Mr. Who? Fernmacher, Al Fernmacher?
Next door.
Norm never won anything in his life until he came to Belterra. Play Belterra. Feel like a winner.
Oh, yeah.
Emergency. Tom Raper RVs and Tom Raper Homes must liquidate $5 million in inventory. Prices are slashed on every new and pre-owned diesel and gas motorhome, fifth wheel, travel trailer, horse and utility trailer, and truck cab. All modular, manufactured, and single-wide homes from Indiana's #1 home center. Tom Raper Homes are drastically reduced too. Tom Raper must sell $5 million by December 31st. $5 million's gotta go before the snow. Tom Raper RVs and Tom Raper Homes. I-70 exit 149A, Richmond, Indiana, where a short drive will save you thousands. Call 1-800-RAPER-RV.
Live coverage of the Cinergy implosion, Farewell to Riverfront, continues.
Well, the first ever event at Riverfront Stadium was June 30th, 1970.
And the last just this past year, September 23rd, 2002. Both were Reds games. And as we take a live look here from Sky 5 at the stadium, another tidbit of information for you. Construction for this ballpark took 2 years, cost $40 million. Let's go to Michelle Hopkins now, who is standing by at the VIP party with the guy who has the honor of giving the countdown today. Michelle.
Yeah, Anne Marie, he had to go up on stage, and we want to listen in as they sing the national anthem as we get ready to implode Cinergy Field.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, the singing of the national anthem as we get ready, about 20 minutes away now, I do believe, from the implosion of Cinergy Field. Up on the stage are O'Rourke Wrecking people, some of the top bosses with that. Also, Bill and Jim, they are going to be the ones doing the countdown and the actual hitting of the button. They are very excited. I tell you, Bill, we talked to him. This is kind of a big week for him. He had a baby born on Monday, and he gets to do the countdown today for Cinergy Field. He's from Hyde Park, and they are really excited. And everyone around here is. Everybody getting sort of their last pictures, last video of Cinergy Field before we get the implosion. And we're starting to get a little daylight now, so it's kind of a neat picture to get. I'm going to send it back to you guys, and we'll be here, and I can't wait, guys. Back to you.
We can't either, Michelle. Thanks for showing us some of the ceremonial side of today's event. We've been telling you about all the angles we have covered for the implosion of Riverfront Cinergy Field. One of them high above DeVue Park, and that's where Eyewitness News 5's Todd Dykes is standing by with what's going on up there. Hi, Todd.
Hey, Lisa, you know, last time we talked, it was quite dark here at Covington's DeVue Park, but it is starting to lighten up, and now you can see the crowd that's gathered behind me really quite eagerly looking at Cinergy Field one last time. Can't wait for the implosion to happen, and one of those persons who can't wait for the implosion is Jeff Walsh of Latonia, a diehard baseball fan. Actually, he's a Yankees fan as well as a Reds fan, and we'll cut him some slack. Jeff, talk about why you're out here this morning.
Well, certainly this is a part of Cincinnati history, and it's a part that you want to be tied to, and it's also a part that I want to cherish and save for my children.
Absolutely.
Ryan and Jared.
Yeah,
and
you wanted to give a little bit of a hello to those guys.
Yeah.
A little too chilly for them this morning, but talk about maybe your favorite Cinergy or Riverfront memory.
The last game that I went to was my son's birthday. Was with the Diamondbacks, and that was my most favorite memory.
Well, a lot of fathers and sons have shared birthdays and all kinds of great events inside Cinergy Field, and we appreciate you talking to us, Jeff, and enjoy the implosion.
I sure will.
You don't get to say that very often, do you, to other people, but have a great morning, okay? So, you know, you can really sense the enthusiasm, the excitement. We're just minutes away now from the implosion, and the crowd that you see behind me, you see all these folks, well, there are just as many folks on the other side of the camera. A big crowd here at DeVue Park in Covington. Got a great vantage point, and again, we're here throughout the morning with more live reports. Reporting live, Todd Dykes, Eyewitness News 5.
All right, Todd, thanks. Getting crowded at all the venues. You know, when you talk about a new stadium, you can't please everyone. Coming up, we're going to go back 35 years to the groundbreaking of Riverfront Stadium. Hear what the conversations and concerns were then and how eerily familiar they are now. Plus, we'll take you on a tour of Great American Ballpark and see if construction is still on track.
When you're on the go, listen to B105 or WGRR for the most accurate forecast, plus live winter weather coverage from Storm Team 5.
Have your investments been properly positioned for the recent run-up in the stock market? Consider hiring RCA. Why not give your portfolio the best chance for success? If you currently have an account at Fidelity or Schwab, the process of hiring us is incredibly simple. There is no long-term contract, and the account details remain the same. Call today and learn more about our free 30-day trial period. I'm Dan Kiley of RCA, helping you retire in comfort.
Announcing the final days of Chevy's year-end event.
It's your last chance.
Maybe we'll stick to what we do best. Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on the 2003 Chevy Cavalier and S10. Plus $1,000 bonus cash. Or choose $3,000 total cash back on every 2003 Cavalier and S10. See your participating Tri-State Chevy dealer today.
It's the year-end clearance sale at Wrecker & Berger, and unbelievably, you can still get 36 months, yes, that's 3 years, interest-free financing on select appliances or heating systems. We are down to the wire now before it's gone, 36 months interest-free. Oh, here's another thing you love, free delivery. And did you know you can get a quote on a new furnace on the spot in either store? Hurry into the Wrecker & Berger nearest you. Wrecker & Berger, the comfort zone. In Montgomery or Tri-County.
Right now, over half our suits and sport coats are on sale, plus hundreds of pants, sweaters, shoes, shirts, and outerwear, 20 to 50% off. Now that's a sale. I guarantee it.
Open to your stay.
From all of us at Channel 5, Happy New Year.
From WLWT Channel 5, this is live coverage of the Cinergy implosion. Farewell to Riverfront.
And welcome back. Cincinnati certainly has a strong tradition in sports. In fact, the national pastime started right here in the Queen City.
And it started long before Riverfront became Cinergy Field and before Crosley Field really was even thought of.
Well, you know, and there's always been an ongoing controversy whether or not it's been Cinergy Field or Riverfront Stadium or Crosley Field. The controversy has always been where should they play these games and who's going to pay for these stadia, right?
Right.
Just seems like it's forever been here. Let's go back to February the 1st, 1968. It was a big day in our town for both of our sports teams, the Reds and the Bengals, because on that date, groundbreaking took place for this Riverfront Stadium. Many city officials, team officials, players, and other dignitaries on hand for the long-awaited ceremonies. Along with Bengals and Reds, UC would play some of its football games at Riverfront Stadium. Then Bengals coach and owner Paul Brown spoke at the groundbreaking.
I know this. I lived in Cleveland back in the days when Bill Veeck was drawing 2 million people and over to baseball, and we were averaging around 70 in football, and they were happy, exciting days. The spirit of the community, everybody was in the game to go to the game, and it livens up a city. It makes it fun, and I think that's what is in the offing in our community here right now.
Well, from the past to the future, the Great American Ballpark now just months away from opening day, March 31st. Here's a look at what the construction workers have been up to.
It's starting to look like a ballpark.
Previously a hole on the riverfront, Great American reached its pinnacle in May. Workers mark the topping out as cranes hoist the final light tower into place. Opening day now just 392 days away. 2 weeks later, fans sign a key piece of structural steel, a 3,000-pound canopy truss. The scoreboard is the next to be hoisted. Underneath will be a brew pub and beer garden. Soon the visitors' dugout is complete. That sign beam is now installed along the right field line. Right field will also be home to fine dining. You can see right into the park from Sycamore Street. Weeks later, the 4-ton foul poles are placed precisely according to Major League Baseball specifications. Next comes the brick behind home plate. The scoreboard is hooked up and functioning. Field work now underway.
Then the next thing is the seats, and it starts to add a little bit of color to the stadium.
Those little red specks are all seats. It'll be February before all 42,000 are installed. The seats are angled, all to improve your view.
Every seat in the house looks pretty good. I mean, you can always get a good feel. The park's not too large, it's just the right size. And you know, with the redirected chairs, you're always facing, you're facing home plate.
With 5 months to go, construction crews continue to boast. They're ahead of schedule and under budget. There'll be no cuts to the plans for more restrooms and 60% more concession stands.
If you want to order something, you'll be able to order stuff from your seat. You know, everything is on the computers. You can be able to punch a menu and have them deliver stuff back right down here into your seat.
After a dry summer, the grass is brought in from a sod farm from Brookville, Indiana. The field covers 2 miles of pipe, gravel, and sand. Starting last month, the new toothbrush towers light up the tri-state. The lights are on for extended test periods, just to make sure the system is working properly. Then commemorative bricks are installed. The pavers decorate the Crosley Terrace entrance with names and messages. By mid-December, workers aim the lights. The field grid is in place, and the mammoth job of installing those upper deck seats continues. Every day, about 250 workers here are on the job site. Many took an early holiday so they could spend these last days of the year preparing for the implosion. And we're back out here live. That new ballpark will also have a players' lounge so that when fans are at the stadium, they can look in and see what the players are doing in there. And it's right outside of the players' locker room. Now, I don't know how many players are going to want to be in there and feel like they're in a fishbowl, but that's going to be one of the options available to try to make it a more interactive experience for the fans and the players.
It is looking beautiful. Great American Ballpark.
Some of the seats that were not great seats, for example, in Cinergy, are going to be terrific seats in this ballpark. The upper deck seats behind home plate, you will actually feel like you're over the catcher. And that's all part of these new ballpark designs to make you closer to the action, and this certainly will be. Well, that's down the road. We got plenty of time to worry about that. Right now, as you can see, we're under 12 minutes now before they actually do flip the switch, punch the button, and bring the old ballpark down. When we come back, we'll check in with some of our reporters out on the field. Don't worry about a thing. You're going to see it from not a million different angles, but certainly a good 8 or 10.
That's right.
Plenty.
We continue live on the river in just a couple of minutes.
From all of us at Channel 5.
Wishing you a safe and happy new year.
Give it your best shot in 2003.
Best wishes for a wonderful new year. From our family to yours.
The happiest of New Year's. Best wishes in the coming new year.
From all of us at Channel 5, Happy New Year.
There's still time to beat the clock on year-end clearance savings at Performance Honda, where you'll find huge discounts on all new and certified pre-owned Hondas. Now lease an 03 Accord LX, just $239 a month for 36 months. Plus, every Performance Honda comes with free lifetime car washes that can save you an additional $1,500. Hurry to the Tri-State's #1 Performance Honda, winner of the Honda President's Award, in the 32-acre Performance Autoplex on Route 4 in Fairfield.
We drove 2 hours south to come down and see the aquarium.
This is our second time in about 10 days.
I feel like you could reach up and touch them as they went over.
I think it's great to bring families and kids.
Good morning, everybody.
Just come here and have a really good time.
Across the river from Cincinnati at Newport on the Levee. 'Tis the season for 1 million gallons of fun at the Newport Aquarium with special holiday hours.
Celebrate the new year with incredible half-off savings at Value City Furniture.
New Year's Day from 10 to 6. Pay just $149 for either of these great-looking metal bunk beds.
Save over half on a versatile 4-drawer chest, only $29.
Or save on a low-profile curio cabinet in oak or cherry finish, just $49.
Plus, buy now and get 6 months same as cash.
Don't miss the incredible half-off New Year's Day sale, Wednesday only at Value City Furniture.
This is it, Kings Ford's colossal end-of-year sale. Slashed prices, factory rebates, financing as low as 0%. Kings Ford, the future of Ford today.
Live coverage of the Cinergy implosion, Farewell to Riverfront, continues.
Here are some fun facts about the stadium you might not know. There are 32 public phones, 6 escalators, 16 gates, 36 restrooms, I've been in a few of them, and 30 concession stands, and the original baseball seating capacity was 52,952, for football 60,389, and all of that torn down in a matter of seconds.
And replaced by a new ballpark that's going to have many more restaurant opportunities and facilities,
That's
if you
right.
will. They said they want to make sure there will not be lines, especially for ladies in the new ballpark.
All the women down here watching today are
More places for Lisa to explore.
That's right, to check out every corner of that place.
Well, Mark Kaler's live along the riverfront in Covington talking to some of the people who came down here and staked out a spot. Mark, what are they telling you?
Well, we found an interesting guy here. This is a realtor, Rick Block, and he is also a very avid amateur photographer. And tell me, you started taking pictures and you really got a little carried away, didn't you?
That's exactly what happened. I ended up taking over 700 pictures to make this poster that is 175 pictures of all the signs seen. It's virtually every sign in and around Riverfront Stadium.
So it took you 700 pictures to get this poster that has about 175 pictures in it.
Right, and it has the seats, all the seat colors, and as well as virtually, as I said, every sign seen there. It took me, I did them all during the last 7 games, 5 of the last 7 games that I went to, and then it has some memorabilia in it. It's got a World Series ticket from 1975 that was my season ticket at the time, and then some other memorabilia and factoids about the stadium.
You didn't start out to make a poster. You just ended up with all these pictures. You said, hey, I got to do something with this for posterity.
Right. And it is a great souvenir. I mean, it really is the last souvenir of Riverfront Stadium. And it was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work.
You're not selling these out here because you don't have a vendor's license, but you're passing out information, and someone who wants to check this out can go to signscene.com?
Signscene.com, and then we're in a lot of stores around town. We're in a lot of frame shops, and just you have to look around for it, but we're in a lot of local retailers.
All right, well, good luck with that.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right,
Thank
thanks
you.
for
Enjoy the
joining us.
Implosion. Yeah.
A lot of folks here now. It's barely a place to stand anymore. From 3 o'clock this morning until now, we have seen a great increase in people. In fact, I would say that there's barely a place to look. If you don't have your spot picked out, you're in big trouble. So we'll send it back to you.
That's right. We're under 6 minutes about until the implosion. And really, it's been about the last half hour that we just saw the waves of people come down here. And so many of the roads are closed on the Ohio side. And really, this is a great view here from the Kentucky side. So I think many people opting to come here. Here's a live shot of the stadium from Sky 5. We have 2 choppers. This is the view from Sky 5. We also have our helicopter from our sister station. That's Chopper 32. Showing another vantage point from high above Cinergy Field.
Boy, you can see how all of the people down there, that's Paul Brown Stadium parking lot there, and you can see the folks. It's almost like a tailgate party without the cars in that parking lot.
Right. And it's almost kind of a festival atmosphere down here now. I mean, the crowds, as we said, have been growing and growing and growing. They seem to be getting a little more boisterous. They figured out that we're on TV, so they want to be on TV too. You know what I mean?
That's right. Let's check in with Michelle Hopkins now. She is at Paul Brown Stadium, where all the festivities and all the dignitaries are. The VIP party, Michelle. It must be really heating up down there.
Oh, it is rocking, Lisa. I tell you, and I'm with a couple of key people here this morning. Bill Bristol is the one who is going to hit. Well, actually, you're going to do the countdown, aren't you?
Countdown.
And tell me how you're feeling about this.
I'm excited. It's going to be a great event.
Okay, have you practiced?
I've practiced a lot with my daughter. She's been a big help. She does the countdown very well. And she's taught me everything I need to know.
And you're going to go from 10 down to 1, is that
10 down to 1 and then fire.
Have they told you anything else?
Just don't miss any numbers and be smooth and steady.
Okay. Well, good luck with that. That's just a couple minutes away now. We also want to bring in Jim Matthews, another very key person. You are going to be hitting that button, aren't you?
Yes, I will.
Now tell me how you're feeling now.
Pretty excited. I'll be waiting for the countdown from Bill, and we're going to be pushing this fire button right here. This will be the finger that will be pushing that fire button, which will set off the implosion. It's real exciting. It's going to be a fun time. As you can see, we've got a perfect view of the implosion from this viewpoint.
We really do. Lots of helicopters up there, but everything's going to get started with this button here.
Yes,
now,
it is.
you must be feeling a little bit of pressure, huh?
Not really. I mean, there's some pressure associated with this, but I feel confident that everybody's got it set up and we're in good shape. So.
And they said no practicing, so don't get too close to that button right now.
Correct. He's got it wired up and it's ready to detonate. So we're ready.
All right, and tell everyone again, you are actually visiting here from Dallas. You're from Cincinnati originally, right?
Born and raised in Cincinnati, currently residing in Dallas, but a huge Cincinnati sports fan.
And you got that rose on your chest. For those who didn't see it earlier, why do you have that rose?
It's significant for Pete Rose, hopefully with the reinstatement. I think Pete helped build this stadium and played a key role in its success, so this is hopefully to help get him reinstated.
All right, Jim, thanks so much. Good luck with that button.
Yes.
You're not going to miss it now, are you?
I won't miss.
Okay.
Thank you.
He's ready. All right, thank you. We'll send it back to you guys on this very exciting morning, just a couple minutes away now from Implosion.
Yes, we are. In fact, a little over 3 minutes away, and I think people should know that this is a 37-second implosion, and you might not see anything really happen. You'll hear the noises, the explosions you will hear for like the first 9 seconds. Won't see anything fall. It's a rolling implosion, as they call it, and it's all on the siren system. O'Rourke's going to sound the sirens. 2 minutes out, we should be hearing that in less than a minute now, and then 10 seconds away, and the countdown will begin.
You can see a great shot there that we just cut away from, but you could see some of the people now that have begun to gather on the river. I just turned around when Michelle was on the air, not to ignore her certainly, but just to take one last look at Cinergy, you know, for it becoming a cookie cutter and people referring to it later in its life as being ugly and out of date. I don't know, I'm going to feel a little nostalgic to watch that thing fall down. I witnessed some very good baseball and, believe it or not, some very good football down there too, and my booth up there for the games was booth K. That's where the broadcast facility was, and it's just about directly across from where we are right now. And I don't know, even though the new place is great and the baseball place is great, I'm going to miss the park.
I'm going to miss the park too. We were down here on the riverfront yesterday afternoon, and my 6-year-old daughter said, "Mom, it's going to be weird without seeing Cinergy across the river. And I said, I agree, it is going to be a little bit strange. But again, Riverfront making way for the future, and Great American Ballpark.
We don't want to go back. We're real happy with the direction we're going in here. Okay.
And a little bit about what we're going to hear here. Intensity-wise, they say the intensity will be sort of like the grand finale of the Riverfest fireworks, and that we keep talking about explosion, implosion, but really they say this is going to be more of a collapse, that the stadium is going to fall into itself, and everything is going to be within the bowl, like a 45-foot bowl behind the flood wall there on the north side of the Ohio River.
Yeah, hopefully there won't be any friendly fire or anything like that. We're not going to catch any incoming, hopefully.
Absolutely. And what they've done is they've put the explosives in the concrete columns within the we just got the 2-minute warning to keep you up to date, within the stadium, and they have already pre-cut the steel. So the structural steel has been pre-cut. The columns, the other main support for the stadium, have all they've cut holes in them and put the explosives within those columns. So that's what is going to literally happen. First the columns, then the steel collapse within the bowl.
They are quite the experts, O'Rourke. Of course, they became famous in their business with the wrecking ball, but here in recent history, O'Rourke has become known as the implosion company, that's for sure. Ken?
Let's go back to Michelle Hopkins, who is right there, right where they will hit the button over by Paul Brown Stadium. Michelle?
That is right. I can almost reach out and touch it, Ken. We just got the 1-minute siren, and they are getting ready. Jim Matthews is here with his rose on his chest for Pete Rose, and he's about to hit the button. Before that, Bill Bristol will do the countdown. It'll start with 10 and go all the way down to 1, and then he will say fire, and Jim will push the button. And we are getting ready. Okay, they're warming it up now. We hear more sirens. He just said she's ready.
We're hot up here, Steve.
We're hot up here.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5.
Business as usual.
It's done.
Now the hard work again.
Now you gotta clear it away, right?
Not a good looking right there.
Jim.
From Chopper 32, you can see that. We can see that familiar roll of dust that comes out of these implosion events, and they never know which direction that dust is going to go. They can't predict the wind.
And here's the good news: Great American Ballpark is still standing.
That is the good news.
Let's point that out right away.
Wow, that was exciting. Very, very exciting. And it just how they said, you really didn't see anything come down for a full 10 seconds at least.
It'll be 15 or 20 minutes until this cloud of dust will clear here along the riverfront. Remember Boom Cam, we've been talking about that, the view from inside. Let's look at that now and see what it looked like inside Cinergy Field just moments ago.
Unbelievable.
And that was the view from CityCam now you're watching. Once again, another replay of the implosion. This is CityCam, our camera on top of Crude Tower.
And you can see the explosives go off even before it starts to fall. The whole series of explosives they had. There it goes.
That is a vantage point.
It's going to take a long time to clear all of this up. The deadline given to the construction crews from the county is August 31st. And of course, this will become the new site of the Reds Hall of Fame and the Rose Garden. Well, they were honor 4192. Of course, the hits by Pete Rose, the hits king back in '85.
Let's show another vantage point.
Yeah, Sky 5 had this thing covered too. Sky 5, Chopper 32. We had the Air Force out. Let's take a look at Sky 5's version of this.
There it goes. Amazing. It almost looks like it could be Matchbox, the way it comes down like that.
And what's amazing here is there you see Great American Ballpark. It's not even touched by this. I'm sure they're going to go over and look at it and just make sure everything's okay. But you look at it right there, it's amazing how they can get all of that in there, all of that done, and still an existing structure that's just feet away. You know, we're not talking about yards or miles, just feet away.
Here's the view from DeVue Park now. See it firing around the base.
This is the view Todd Dykes had over there at DeVue Park.
You know, and at this point, Ken, as you mentioned, all the folks, the engineering officials from O'Rourke they're going around the perimeter. They're checking Great American Ballpark. All the roads in the area still closed. There's a crew that will go out and inspect Fort Washington Way, and if it's fine, they will open it up immediately. If not, they may have to clean some debris off of the roadway. But things should be opening up, the roadways, that is, at any time now.
Todd Dykes, are you over there? We knew what it felt like here on this part of the Kentucky side of the river. What was it like over there where you were?
Well, you know, yeah, it was really, really exciting. Talk about a 30-second blast of excitement. Look behind me and you can see a cloud of dust, which was Cinergy Field, or of course Riverfront Stadium. To a lot of Reds fans, a little bit older. We're going to talk to a couple of folks, one who is a little bit older and then one who's a little younger. Jeff Walsh, you're from Latonia, Kentucky. Talk about what you just saw.
It's incredible. You just can't believe it could be so precise, you know. Everything fell down into place and everything, but certainly this is a piece of history that now I'm tied to. And I love it. Love the Reds.
Hey, there you go. Okay, thank you so much, Jeff, for talking to us. And now a younger Reds fan, Nick Merckx. Talk to me. What'd you think when you saw it all happen?
I think it was pretty cool because that was like the first time I've seen it because I moved so far away.
Now, you live in Louisiana now, is that right?
Yeah.
Here visiting for the holidays, I imagine. Boy, when it kind of came around, pretty impressive, huh?
Yeah, it was like dominoes.
Like dominoes, that's right. And what did you hear? What did you hear and what did you feel?
Just a bunch of blasts, but I didn't really feel anything.
Okay, bunch of blasts. We are relatively far away from it, but it was an impressive sight, no doubt. Nick, thank you for talking to us, okay? And then, of course, just two perspectives. There are hundreds of folks out here. We've put the crowd at about maybe 300, 350. At this particular point, we're on a hill overlooking, of course, Cinergy Field and the skyline of Cincinnati from northern Kentucky. A lot of folks, of course, along the river on both sides, and many enthused people having seen Cinergy finally come down after a whole lot of anticipation. Now it's time to get ready for the Reds to move into their new ballpark, Great American Ballpark, which was right next to Cinergy. Be interesting to see if everything went just fine. Of course, from our vantage point, we're not sure yet, but it seemed to go just like it was supposed to. Reporting live in northern Kentucky, Todd Dykes, News Channel 32.
No, you're on Channel 5.
You're on Channel 5
you're on
with
Channel
us
5
too,
there,
Todd.
Todd.
That's
Come on.
right.
Todd's moonlighting already.
We're sharing him.
You put Todd out there, he'll work for anybody.
That's right.
Give him a Mike Flagg, he'll work for anybody.
The description of a dominoes, I think, sounds very accurate.
Only from a child.
That's right. Nail it. So much better than all us professionals up here trying to say, ooh, ah.
That's right.
Let's look at the view now from Mount Adams as the ballpark came down moments ago.
See, that's what I...
know about the damage assessments just yet, but Ty Heinmiller, who is part of the construction crews, told me, hey, if we have a broken window here or there, we're not going to worry about that. We're going to consider this as a good success. But certainly no reports of problems coming in just yet. Let's go to Michelle Hopkins, who's kind of at command central there over at Paul Brown Stadium. Michelle.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys. We are here with Tom Nyer, one of the Hamilton County Commissioners, and we're just talking about how the dust is starting to come on over here now. I'm prepared with a little mask.
You are. I might be doing the scarf routine. I don't know. The Great American Ballpark is starting to emerge from the dust. There's something very poetic about it. But
what did you think?
You know, my first reaction was almost sadness. I mean, this was not new information. Everybody knew it was going to go down. We've spent the better part of a year preparing for this, but there was definitely a tinge of sadness. I've been going into that ballpark since I was yay big, and now it's dust. But the sadness is exceeded by the thrill of what's to come, and you can see it emerging right now. So it's a great day.
You can see it emerging. Yeah, that is kind of neat. But you also see a lot of dust, and it's headed this way. But I guess this is not as much as it could have been, because O'Rourke took a lot of time to make sure that there wasn't a lot, as much as it could be, I guess.
Well, that's correct. You know, a demolition process is actually a very, very scientific exercise, and it's more about preparation and anticipation of the cleanup than it actually is the implosion. That's what everybody likes to see, but the real work has been going on for months to make sure that the dust is contained and minimal, and it actually fell into itself within the flood ball as was originally designed. So
it looks like everything went as planned.
So far, so good. Well, I have a debriefing in about 15 minutes, and then there'll be a more media-focused briefing in about 45 minutes, and we'll know for sure, but everything appears to this layman's eye to have gone well.
Okay, Tom, thanks very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
I'm happy to do it. Go get warm.
I know. Maybe I'll put my dust mask on, too. Thanks a lot. And we'll send it back to you guys.
All right, thanks. And of course, we're staying on live here until 9 o'clock, so we'll bring you the very latest from that debriefing and learn exactly from the people in charge of this implosion today how everything went.
Here's a great shot as Chopper 32 from our sister station WLKY up in the air, and that is Great American Ballpark. But I think what now is the picture is what it looks like over what was Cinergy Field, and there you can see it. It is a lot of dust and debris that probably will not settle well for a while. I don't want to put a time on it, but it's certainly going to be a while before it all settles. But as you can see, that's what was Cinergy Field, and that is what basically the hole in the ground looks like right now.
That's for sure. Our riverfront is changed forever. You know, as we mentioned, hundreds of people down here on all of the riverbanks around the Ohio River, and Mark Kaler is in the thick of it. He's on Riverside Drive in Covington. And Mark, hundreds of people over there. What was the reaction?
People were amazed. They just stood there and they were stunned by what they were seeing. I've got Robin Bating here. She is from Anderson Township. She came out here with her family. Just what were your first impressions?
Well, I heard one kid say that it sounded like a freight train coming because the sound started on the back of the stadium and came around, and it was right. It kept getting louder and louder, and you could see the flash of each section.
They told us it would be a little bit like Riverfest, but really it wasn't super loud. You were saying it wasn't as loud as you thought it would be.
Not quite as loud, but it still got people excited. Everybody was cheering. Somebody yelled, "Do it again."
I guess nothing's over like an implosion. We see these people leaving in a hurry, that nothing more to see here. But this was something you felt obviously was important for you and your family. You got up early. It's cold out here, but you came out to see it. How important is it to you?
Well, it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I remember when they built it, and the boys have been lots of times to games, and it's gone. It's the end of an era, as they
feel
say.
kind of sad about that?
I have mixed feelings about whether it was the right thing to do economically.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, thanks for talking to us. We appreciate it. And clearing out very quickly here, really in the last couple of minutes, probably several hundred people from where I'm standing have left because once the implosion is over, there's not a whole lot to see but dust. So we'll send it back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Mark. Boy, wouldn't you like to own a business right now that serves breakfast?
That's
yes.
right.
In
Right
Newport or
corner.
Covington, because I can imagine that they are going to be jammed with people rushing over to get something warm.
That's for sure. Well, we're going to go to break, but we want to leave you with that most exciting shot from actually inside the stadium. We call it Boom Cam. There's another look at it coming down from the inside out. Stay with us. Eyewitness News 5 and our special coverage will be back after this.
Announcing the final days of Chevy's year-end event.
It's your last chance.
Maybe we'll stick to what we do best. Now get $3,000 total cash back on the 2003 Chevy Cavalier, Malibu, Venture, and Impala during the year-end event. Or get 0% APR on all 2003 Chevy cars. See your participating Tri-State Chevy dealer today.
If you worked at H.H. Gregg, you'd get some cool threads, you'd get an autographed photo of George and Joy, and your family could get employee family discounts. Everybody should be so lucky. That's why, for 4 days only, this Sunday through Wednesday, H.H. Gregg is offering employee family discount prices to everybody. Which means you save big on name brand appliances, home and car electronics, everything priced as if you really were part of the family. But hurry, H.H. Gregg's employee family discount prices are available 4 days only.
Oh, 3 jacks.
Beat you. Full house. What do you have, Norm?
I've got a pair of 2s.
Oh. Well, time to take off your underwear, Norm.
Norm never won anything in his life until he came to Belterra. The loosest dollar slots, finest dining, friendliest folks around. Play Belterra. Feel like a winner.
Welcome to our house. Real furniture for real life. Our house, the harmony of life, home, and style. The big sale, now in progress.
Live coverage of the Cinergy implosion, Farewell to Riverfront, continues. And we welcome you back to the river. They said that it's going to go into at least the summertime before they get everything cleared away from what has just happened back there. But as we look back over there, a lot of the dust and debris has already settled. So, you know, it's from that standpoint, it should be a pretty good picture the next time we go up to Sky 5.
That's for sure.
And what do you know? There it is. You
That's
ask for it, and there it
Sky
is. You got to love Sky 5. It's there when you need it, and you can almost see now exactly what has happened. And even the closest part of where this explosion occurred to Great American Ballpark, you can see from that picture that, at least to the naked eye, there is very little, if any, damage.
Yeah, 135,000 tons of concrete and steel now in a big pile neatly placed by O'Rourke right in the middle of the stadium.
Yeah, early reports that there was no damage, and there is Chopper 32 from WLKY-TV in Louisville, who is up here helping us out today. Now, one of our reporters closest to the scene was Cherie Perlillo, and we're told that Cherie is covered with a little dust. How dusty is it there, Cherie?
Well, we've made it. We're doing pretty good over here, Ken. You're right, that massive cloud of dust and debris that you were talking about is dispersing a little bit. We felt some of it over here. It was a little hard to talk, but we're pretty good right now. Look over my shoulder. This is really an amazing sight here. You can see Cinergy Field is no more. And in fact, look there. The Great American Ballpark sign, you can see, hasn't even been touched. And right now, we are joined with Jackie Scherger. She is with O'Rourke Wrecking Company. And Jackie, you've been doing this for what, 26 years, you said?
27 and a half. 27 and a half.
And how did it go today?
It went wonderful. We couldn't have asked for it to be any better. Everything landed exactly where it was supposed to land. Nothing got damaged. I'm just listening to the radio. All the checks all the way around the perimeter. Everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and I've been hearing them talk to you, and it sounds as though everyone's very excited.
Everybody's checking. All the checkpoints are great. The traffic's reopening on the interstate. Everything is under control.
Tell us what you do right now. What is everyone doing? I know they immediately, as soon as that button was pushed, everyone kind of scattered to see what happened.
Right. Everybody is checking out their own areas. The demolition experts, the implosion experts are inside now checking to make sure all the charges were fired as they were supposed to. Our people are all around the outside making sure that everything on the perimeter is good. They'll start the dust cleanup immediately. It looks like the bigger part of the dust went up toward the city, so there'll be a lot of window washing going on. But as far as cleaning up any debris, it all landed right exactly in the footprint where it was supposed to land.
Certainly expect a lot of dust with something like this, but that's still a great sign.
I think Mother Nature and the good Lord above kept everything right where it was supposed to fall.
Right. Jackie, tell us what exactly, too. They have to go around. We've got several bridges, of course. The Great American Ballpark was a big concern. What will they do? Go around and check to make sure nothing happened?
Right. We have people stationed actually in all those areas. I just heard them check the Freedom Center, and I heard everybody on the bridge is checked out. The Great American Ballpark's fine. Everything east of here and everything all the way around is great.
Great, and thank you so much, Jackie. We know that you are a woman everyone wants to talk to right now. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. And so again, we're getting the thumbs up so far. We're going to get the final thumbs up around 9:30 out here at Paul Brown Stadium, and you can see behind me still some people kind of just watching, as this really was an amazing sight to see live. Reporting live outside Paul Brown Stadium. Now back to you guys.
She doesn't look that dusty.
No, she doesn't.
She
not
doesn't.
at all.
Pretty good,
That report was erroneous.
It sounds like everything went A-okay.
That's right.
Are we going to go to break?
We're going to go to break.
I hope so, because that's what they're hoping for back home. So back with more here from the river as we are now in the aftermath of the big Cinergy implosion. We'll have more right after this on Channel 5. Oh, that's Chopper 32. Well, that's okay, too. We like those folks. They're part of the Hearst Argyle family, too. Back with more in just a second.
You and your family just can't sit down at the all-new Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. Ever wonder what it's like to see eye to eye with an alligator? WLWT, WRRM, and Community Press want you to get opening night tickets for just $10 and to register for your chance to win a seat on the arena floor as T.F. the Gator Guy wrestles massive alligators. Enter by logging on to channelcincinnati.com. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, playing U.S. Bank Arena February 12th through 16th.
There you go, Jake. Now don't let it go.
Finally, people living with COPD can regain their freedom and mobility thanks to the Helios personal oxygen system with its lightweight portable unit.
Hey, want to take some pictures? Yeah. How about happy?
Helios lasts for up to 10 hours at a time, depending on your prescription. It's fast, safe, and easy to refill from your home unit.
It's just there.
And if you qualify for portable oxygen, Helios use may be covered by Medicare and most insurance plans. To learn more about Helios, call 1-800-591-2916, and we'll send you our free, easy breathing information kit. Get back to the pleasures of an active life. Make sure you ask for Helios by name.
Buick Holiday Bonus Cash makes this year-end the grand finale. Buick Rendezvous offers the best of a luxury sedan, minivan, and SUV with a commanding view of the road, available seating for 7. Now get $3,000 total cash back on the remarkable Rendezvous, or choose 000 and still get extra holiday bonus cash. See your Tri-State Buick dealer today.
Live coverage of the Cinergy implosion. Farewell to Riverfront continues.
And we're back here live along the riverfront where the crowd has quickly disappeared. Yeah. Many people taking cover and going home, and they saw it. They watched it here again on our screen. We had people come up and say, oh, we were here live, but we couldn't see boom cam. Coming up and watching the boom cam. Those are the views from here, but what about on the Ohio side, Mount Adams? Monica Abler's there.
I tell you what, Anne-Marie, you're right. You know, the spectators here, they cleared out a lot faster than the dust behind me. So they did. It's awfully cold to be out here, I guess, standing around and looking at what is just a bunch of dust right now. I mean, people left here with some with smiles on their faces, some feeling a little sentimental about Riverfront Stadium. I'm with Tom Nyer on that one. I felt a little sad. At first I started to applaud, and then I caught myself and thought this is kind of sad because I think a lot of people in Cincinnati, I know they do have a lot of memories connected with Riverfront Stadium. But we have shown all kinds of angles. We, of course, up here, Rob Busby was shooting away as the implosion was taking place. So here's what it looked like from our point of view.
Live coverage of the Cinergy implosion.
Sounds like the dog approved.
Yeah. High marks from the dog on that one.
That's right. You can see there on the clock twirling around 7:59, and that's when it happened just 20 minutes ago, and now it's part of history.
Yeah. Let's get a check on the traffic situation. As you know, there were rolling closures of the highways, the bridges throughout the morning. This is a live view from Sky 5 of the bridge, of course, spanning the Ohio River. That is the Central Bridge, I believe, or maybe one of the Newport bridges over the Licking, it looks like. But so far, so good. It seems that way. Anyway, a lot of these folks should have been prepared for the traffic closures. The city and O'Rourke has been keeping us up to date in the weeks in preparation to this point. So a lot of these folks waiting in traffic knew that they would be because they were warned about it.
Well, you don't often see a traffic jam like that on a Sunday morning here in northern Kentucky and Cincinnati, but what do you know, we got one of those this morning. We'll continue with more here from the river. We're going to wrap it up, take you right up till 9 o'clock. So that means there's much more to come, as we say in the business. Stay tuned.
The Judgment Hour, tomorrow at 4 on Channel 5.
Is your claim that your son assaulted you?
Did he do the unthinkable?
You didn't hit her, did you?
Or is it all in her imagination?
Had you been drinking?
Next, Judge Judy.
You set zero example for him.
Then at 4:30.
Fighting can be a real drag.
I'm not a drag queen, I'm a female impersonator.
So why didn't he just take off?
I had on 7-inch stilettos.
On the next Judge Joe Brown.
Tomorrow at 4 on Channel 5.
How would you like to make a difference by participating in consumer product testing? Hilltop Research, the leader in consumer product testing for over 55 years, has several upcoming studies in January. You must be over 18 and in general good health. Upcoming patch studies include personal care and medical products and will take place throughout the tri-state area. To see if you qualify for these studies and if you'd like to join our database for future studies, call 513-248-1571 today. If qualified, you'll be compensated for your time and travel.
Celebrate the new year with incredible half-off savings at Value City Furniture.
New Year's Day from 10 to 6. Save over half on this beautiful two-piece living room package. Get the modern sofa and matching love seat for only $4.99.
Or enjoy the casual styling of this 100% solid wood dinette in a warm oak finish. Value priced at just $69. Unbelievable savings.
Plus, buy now and get 6 months same as cash. It's the incredible half-off New Year's Day sale at Value City Furniture.
Don't miss it.
Announcing the final days of Chevy's year-end event.
It's your last chance.
Maybe we'll stick to what we do best. Now get $3,000 total cash back on the 2003 Avalanche and Silverado during the year-end event. Or get 0% APR for 60 months on 2003 Chevy SUVs.
Just scold me, 'cause when I'm bad, we're so bad.
See your participating Tri-State Chevy dealer today.
Live coverage of the Cinergy implosion, Farewell to Riverfront, continues.
The implosion now over. Look good to us. What are the experts saying?
Yeah, look. Oh, we're going to find out from the experts. At least the first word we got from O'Rourke is that everything went by the book. Everything fell where it was supposed to. And these folks have been doing it a long time. And I believe Cherie has one of the experts right now.
Well, that's very fortuitous for us.
That's right, Lisa. We are joined right now with Arnie Rosenberg. He is with Parsons Brinkerhoff. He was the project manager overseeing this, well, for the last year, right, Arnie?
Well, we've been involved with the project since groundbreaking, which is about 2.5 years now. So it's been an exciting process for everyone.
Last 6 months, there has been a lot of activity. Finally, it's over. What's the first report here?
Well, you always love it when a plan comes together, and that's exactly what happens. The past 6 months have been a very intensive planning activity, and those plans have come to fruition this morning. Things went very well.
You guys have been talking on the two ways ever since that button was pushed. What are we seeing so far?
Well, the implosion activity this morning is really only the first part of the things that are going on today. Now we're involved in the cleanup activity. What's going on right now, there's a team of engineers and contractors walking around the site to make sure that the implosion went off as anticipated and expected, and that all the